remain standing while Jim Smith sings the national anthem. Please remain standing for the opening prayer by Jack Marino.
O Lord, we thank you for the sacrifices our Korean War veterans made for us and for peace. We gather here in these moments to remember them. We pray that you would bless and protect all your people. Guide us on the path to unity and harmony, that we may serve you and your people in keeping with your holy will. May this day be a day of commemoration and honor to those who sacrificed in order to give South Koreans liberty and assure greater freedom in our world. Amen.
Please be seated and stand for
Thank you, George. I want to say thank you to the Lynn Veterans Council, Vice President Jack Marino, President George Fitzhenry, for really keeping these traditions alive in the city of Lynn. I've been here in this job a while now, but well before me, the Lynn Veterans Council ensured that every year we remember the Korean War. They remember the Vietnam War, and we remember our women veterans. Every year these ceremonies, they're sponsored by the Lynn Veterans Council, and not just in name only. Smart enough to learn not to talk over a truck. But I do want to say thank you to the Lynn Veterans Council for reminding us and continuing to remind us that we have to say thank you to those who served in the Korean War. They call it the Forgotten War, and what I know from my experience here is that it's not forgotten in the city of Lynn. So thank you to the Veterans Council. But what I'd like to do, would all the Korean War veterans in the room either stand to be recognized or raise your hand so we can say thank you right now. Please stand. With that, I'd like to, what we do here, because this is the anniversary of the armistice that ended that bloody, hard-fought war that you men and women know far, far better than we will ever know. So to mark this day, we're proud to introduce Mayor Tom McGee to read a proclamation.
Thank you, Michael, and service of so many who stand with us and so many else who aren't here today. This year marks the 66th anniversary of the end of the war. We come together to honor those who served, fought, and died during the Korean War. I'd like to thank the Lynn Veterans Council, Essex County Marine Corps League Rifle Team, the Lynn English High School Marine Junior ROTC, who are always there and really make us proud, and the City of Lynn Veterans Service Department for organizing and participating in this ceremony. I'm also joined by many of my colleagues in government, both city councils and legislators from the city who I know are here to support today's recognition of your service and the service of all who have fought for this country in the Korean War. At this point, I'd like to read a proclamation from the City of Lynn recognizing today, July 26th, as 2019, as Korean War Veterans Day in the City of Lynn. Whereas on June 25th, 1950, Communist armies from the North stormed across the 38th parallel, beginning the Korean War. And whereas nearly 1.8 million members of the armed forces of the United States fought during the Korean War, pushing back those invading armies. And whereas members of the armed forces of the United States who fought during the Korean War served our nation under the most trying of conditions. And whereas the exemplary performance of those who served during the Korean War reflected the highest standards of bravery and courage. And whereas Lynn is proud of the sacrifices made by those from our city who served with bravery and distinction in the Korean War, most especially the men whose names are listed on the Lynn Korean Veterans Memorial. Now, therefore, I, Thomas M. McGee, Mayor of the City of Lynn, hereby proclaim July 26, 2019 to be Korean War Veterans Day in the City of Lynn. And I urge all citizens of the City of Lynn to take cognizance of this event and participate fittingly in its observance. Honored to have signed this and present this today in recognition of the Koreans ceremony today. So.
Thank you, Mayor McGee. And we're also lucky to have with us today other people from elected office and honored guests who once again are here to ensure that we do the right thing and honor those who served during the Korean War. As you saw, Mayor McGee is here, Senator Brendan Crichton, Representative Pete Capano, Representative Don Wong, Ward 2 Councilor Rick Starbird, Ward 6 Councilor Freddie Hogan, and some other people who I want to make note that are here. Mike Devon from Congressman Seth Moulton's office is here. Thank you for being here. And before we get to someone else who's going to speak on the program, when we talk about the main focus of this program is that we're going to read the names of the fallen from Korea. And with that in mind, I think it's important that we acknowledge those in the audience, our Gold Star families. And with us today is the Vice President, National Vice President of the Gold Star Wives of America, Linda Cafferty. Thank you for being here. And with her, Gold Star wife, Dee Farris. Anyone who knows our office knows Everett Farris was the Graves Officer for the City of Lynn for many years. Thank you for being here. And I'd like to acknowledge with us today Doris Sarakis, a good friend of ours, whose son Anthony served in Afghanistan. So I want to say thank you for being here, Doris. You're at every event, and I know you do it to make sure people know they're not alone. So thank you. So what I'd like to do is actually at this particular moment call up the state delegation just to say a few words to thank you again for your service.
Thank you, Mike. It's an honor for me to be here today. I'd also like to thank the Marine Corps League, the Junior ROTC, Lynn Veterans Council, and Mike Sweeney for putting this on. This is a great event, and every year it gets bigger and bigger. I couldn't get parking. I mean, that's a good thing, right? Right. So I just want to thank everybody for coming here today to recognize the sacrifices made in South Korea, and to thank the veterans that are here today for your service to the country. On behalf of the state delegation, Representative Cahill and Representative Ehrlich could not make it today, but they send their support. And Representative Wong, on behalf of all of us, thank you for the service to our great country. Thank you.
I don't want to repeat too much of what Pete had to say already, but first just want to say thank you to all the veterans here, particularly those that served in the Korean War, for your service. And I say this every time I think I give a speech at a veterans-related event, but we have the best veterans agent in the entire state of Massachusetts. And every event that we have up there, Mike Sweeney's front and center, and every other legislator looks at us with envy because we have you, not only serving here, but also with the entire Commonwealth. And Mike mentioned earlier, this war is known as the Forgotten War. And again, Lynn does a great job in recognizing all of our veterans and every conflict that they serve. And in particular, for this war that many just aren't fully aware of all the sacrifices that are made. Lynn does a great job, and thank you to everyone that made that possible. Just wanted to read a few figures here that are really shocking. How could this war be forgotten when we had 36,574 Americans that died, 103,284 wounded, 7,926 missing in action, and 4,714 POWs. So again, in recognition of all those that served, it's an honor to be here, and thank you for your service. I'll turn it over now to Representative Donald. Thank you.
I want to say it's an honor to be here. It's always an honor to be here to see all the veterans. Lynn should be very proud of the veterans that are coming out of Lynn and to recognize them. But the Commonwealth is also very appreciative of the veterans that have fought past, present, and future, especially the Korean veterans right now. And Massachusetts tries to do as much as we can for the veterans. I think Massachusetts does more than any other state, but we still are working to do more. And thank you for your service.
Thank you very much. Also here with us is Michael Sadoway from the Lynn School Committee. Thanks for being here, Michael. I appreciate the words from Senator Crichton, but I think all of us know anyone who's ever come into our office for probably since the Vietnam War has seen one face, and that's Mary Cronin. Mary Cronin. She's there now. We have Debbie Smalley in our office as well, and if the two of those, they put so much work into doing these things, they don't come together by accident. We get up here and maybe get a lot of attaboys, but I think we would not be able to do what we do without their hard work. But I would also say Mary has been helping veterans for so long, and so many people in this city know that she's down there. I want to thank her for everything she's done for veterans in the community. So, what we do every year, and I was lucky, we talk about people we know, I see Stanley drop from the PLAV, and Joan Noble, past president of the Ladies Auxiliary of the PLAV here. I mention it all the time because Jim DeFilippo, who was a fixture in every event we've ever had, for 2 decades at least, Korean War veteran himself, got us back into reading the names. We used to do these ceremonies and we do them well, I always thought, but if we're not remembering the names, we're kind of missing the point. And he let us know that, and it was in his own gentlemanly way. We started doing it and we haven't stopped. So at this part of our ceremony, what I'd like to do is read the names of the men who are listed on the Lynn Korean War Memorial. At the end, we're lucky to have with us the rifle team from the Marine Corps League at Essex County Marine Corps League. And following the reading of the names, will be a moment of silence, followed by that volley. So, in alphabetical order. Daniel J. Ballard. Albert L. Barber. George Barnes, Jr. Donald F. Barry. Robert H. Berry. Donald E. Bryant. Henry J. Caproni, Jr. Joseph W. Camo. Patrick E. Connolly. Frank W. Curtin. Myron L. Cutler. John J. Drozowitz. Raymond C. Erickson. Frank N. Fulton. Bernard H. Gass. Owen F. Healy. Richard D. Hickey. Walter R. Howard. Robert E. Inglis. Saul J. Cates. Paul M. Linton. John E. Madsen. John P. McGovern. Richard C. Relva. Kerry C. Savanti. Robert O. Sprague. Dexter E. Tufts. Harvey F. Wellman. Irvin S. White, Jr. Samuel A. Wilson. Charles W. Wolfendale. John W. Woodland, Jr. Richard P. Yakub. And Ernest G. Larson, Jr. Now, I would like to ask if everyone would please remain seated, except for our Korean War veterans. Would our Korean War veterans please come up here to the front to get a bit of a class picture? Right here. We're going to do one at a time so we don't look different places.